week 2 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few quarterbacks I have as sleeper options this week. The first guy, Jared Goff, the Detroit Lions. So Jared Goff in week 1 had a pretty good ball game in that one. 215 pass yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and 9 rushing yards in that one. So right now, Goff available in 78% of fantasy leagues. And if you're in a pinch in a deeper league or a 2-quarterback league, he's got a pretty good matchup versus the Washington Commanders here. So right now, I think Jared Goff, he's got a decent offensive weapons on his team. You got DeAndre Swift, even though he's questionable in this one. Jamal Williams is a capable backup running back. And then at wide receiver, Aaron St. Brown, he's been good over the last season and a half. Hawkinson at tight end, pretty decent. And DJ Chark, who last week had 52 yards and a touchdown. So right here with decent weapons and a decent matchup where I could see this being a mini shootout. If you're in a pinch for a quarterback, I think Jared Goff is a decent sleeper option this week. The next guy, Baker Mayfield of the Carolina Panthers. So Baker Mayfield available in 82% of fantasy leagues here. Last week versus former team, the Cleveland Browns, not a great game, but he still put up fantasy numbers. 235 pass yards with a passing touchdown, interception, 6 rush yards, and a rushing touchdown. Right here, week 2 with the Giants. It's a good matchup on paper. Ryan Taneo, he didn't have the greatest games last week, but 8 yards per completion he was averaging is Ryan Tannehill. So Mayfield, he has decent offensive weapons. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey, if he could stay healthy in the backfield. DJ Moore, and also Robbie Anderson, who he hit for a 75-yard touchdown in last week's ball game. So right now, same thing as Goff. If you're desperate for a quarterback, or you're in a deeper league, a 2-quarterback league, or even a Dak Prescott owner who needs a quarterback this week, I think Mayfield's a decent sleeper option this week. And the third and final quarterback I have as a sleep is Jacoby Brissette of the Cleveland Browns. So right here, Brissette available still in 97% of fantasy leagues. And last week in his Brown debut, he didn't do much for fantasy owners. 147 pass yards, a touchdown, and 10 rushing yards. So right here, he's more of a game manager. And this Brown team's going to try to win a lot this season on playing defense and running the football. But right here, this week, he's got a good matchup versus the New York Jets that we saw get torched on a few deep balls by Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens in week 1. And I think Brissette here, I know it would be tough to start him in your league, and obviously you're desperate, but I think he could put up 15 to 18 fantasy points in this one. But I think more Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are going to be guys in this game that are going to have good value. So right here, that's a few quarterback sleeper options I have for week 2 of the fantasy football season.